but I did check Quora and I looked up foodie, and I got a question. What does it really mean to be a foodie? And Ryan Chantry answered this, and he goes, it's a vague word that different people use differently. And as words are defined by their usage, it has little common meaning beyond enjoying.
Now, come on, just answer the question.
You're getting fucking lawyer trying to do like lawyer therapy talk when it's the dumbest question in the fucking world.
Yeah, just like it's someone who's really into food.
Yeah, well,
you know what I mean? Like who's like more into food than a regular person, I would say. It's part of their personality. That's how I would define it.
Who just like eating out. Everybody I've heard that's a foodie, they just don't like doing dishes. They just eat out.
Okay, but is that a foodie?
Go to a taco truck.
Yeah, well, like I think people like foodies who don't have any patience to learn like how stuff is made or how to cook. To me, you just like eating out. Yeah, you just like going out. Yeah, no, I agree. If you're not interested in the actual food.
I think some people are pretending to be foodies. They say, "Oh, I'm a foodie," but in reality, like you say, they don't want to do dishes. So they're fake foodies, but they're just like, "Ooh, this is very interesting." And it's like, you mean it like it tastes nice in your tummy, like it's not. You don't know anything about it, or like you don't care about the preparation or anything like that. A real foodie would care about that.
Well, this guy,
if you're getting barbecue chicken nachos and you're like, "I'm a foodie," it's like, yeah, well, you know.
Yeah, try the cheeseburger.
Best barbecue chicken nachos restaurant in town.
Yeah, it's like being a cinephile if you only watch Marvel movies. I just don't think you can say that.
Yeah, like, man,
the way the decision. I just don't think you can say it.
The barbecue sauce, the locally sourced barbecue sauce that they use on those. Oh,
the ketchup they use is so.
Oh my goodness! Honestly, they use ketchup. It's so red.
I got to tell you, I used to go to this restaurant. I knew the owner, and I would go to this restaurant. And they had homemade. They had their own ketchup, and it was just ketchup that they made there, but they put like fennel seed in it. And every time I was there, and every review was like, just have some Heinz.
Yeah, don't mess with, they figured out. Yeah, like ketchup is the only thing I will say. This is kind of a bit of a foodie opinion. Is I went to Los Angeles. Well, went to Los Angeles. I go there a lot, Brad.
I've been there a lot too, so I'll be able to know exactly what you're talking about.
So I went to a restaurant. Thank you for saying congratulations, by the way. Have you been to Los Angeles?
I went once. I loved it. It was beautiful. The weather was great.
Wonderful place.
Didn't have to wear a jacket. Didn't have to think about what I wore. Every day was perfect.
Great
totally.
Food.
It's great food.
Foodie culture.
So I had some beet ketchup. And it was delicious, and I loved it. And so that is like, I will say that's the only time I've ever had ketchup that wasn't just like Heinz, where I was like, ooh, this is like actually maybe a little bit better. But I've had beet ketchup since, and it didn't compare. So it was this specific place, and I don't remember it.
So there's a related anecdote I have to a place around here called Chicken and Pete's. And
where do you live?
Atlantic City.
Where's that? New Jersey.
Yeah, New Jersey.
I've been there.
Yeah. So,
so what? Listen, that's not.
They let anyone here.
They let anyone go there. Los Angeles is hard to get into.
There's no checking at the door in Atlantic City. You're in.
No, you're in.
You're in. Welcome. Get in here.
They want you to come.
Yeah, we got some crevices you can crawl into. Have fun. But there is a place in here called Chicken Pete's, and people were really excited about their cheese sauce.
Okay.
And so people were talking about it. People were commenting. I heard people say how good the Chicken Pete's cheese sauce was. And then somebody posted the recipe, and it's white American cheese and water.
I mean, foodie thing though, because they were
foodies only would understand.
Yeah. Thank you, Brian. The simplicity of it. That's what it is. It's just like you don't want to overcomplicate something like cheese sauce, you know?
No.
Well, this definition goes on to say, so it's a matter of degree and threshold for self-identification. Certainly, there's people with discerning palate, though they may be called a connoisseur. I avoid calling myself a foodie because it's too vague. I prefer the term. He should prefer the term. When you hear what he said, I prefer the term food nerd because I love to learn about the science and history of food and cooking, and the term dining geek because I like learning about new restaurant chefs and trying them out. So
This
that's
guy
our
sucks.
definition.
Yeah, this guy sucks.
This guy
I'm sorry. Listen, we're all a nerd in some way. Like we've discussed that before. It's like whatever you're really into, you're kind of a nerd for that. But like when you're like, I like to think of myself as a food nerd. There's something like even nerdier about that. That's like a nerd level that I can't really get behind. You know?
And
Go big
also-
or go home. Call yourself a gourmand. Just do it. That's so much cooler than anything else.
Totally.
Gourmands is such a cooler kind of guy than foodie.
It is. And you don't want to be called a foodie ever. It seems so embarrassing. I want to show you guys.
Like,
this
is it
picture.
considered embarrassing, Brian? Like from what you're reading, like do people self-identify as foodie, or is it considered to be like a term that's a term of like embarrassment or ridicule?
Of current times, it seems to be of like ridicule. But if you read stuff from like 2013, 2014,
Yeah.
people are 100% just like, I'm a foodie.
That's how stuff happens, I
food
guess,
truck
is like it sort of becomes part of the culture or whatever. And then the real terrible people online, I don't know, some of them might be here with us today, me. They get a hold of it and then they start making fun of it really badly. And then it becomes like a negative thing.
Well, it's like a diminutive sounding word. It's like foodie. I'm a little foodie.
Yeah,
Check
totally.
me out. I'm a little foodie.
It's kind of-
I'm
it's
bad.
sort-
I'm a foodie.
It's childish where they're trying to almost seem like sophisticated. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Where the name, it kind of does the opposite. Yeah.